Night.
On World News Tonight this Thursday, Yugoslav forces on their way out of Kosovo. NATO forces ready to go in. The war is over. The job is not.
We now have a moment of hope, and we have to finish the job and build a peace.
When it comes to cracking down on gang violence, the Supreme Court says Chicago went too far. And the local highway project, the locals do not want. So why is Washington paying for it?
From ABC News, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Reporting tonight from Macedonia.
Good evening. Macedonia is a very busy place today. Thousands of NATO troops, including a growing American contingent, are preparing to enter Kosovo. Before very long, the second largest province in Yugoslavia is going to be under NATO control. The most significant news here today is the visual evidence that the Yugoslav forces are leaving Kosovo. These Serbs left from the suburbs of Pristina, the capital. When NATO saw the Serbs actually leaving, the NATO air campaign was suspended. 40,000 Serb soldiers and police must leave the province, and as they do, the British and French and Italians and Germans and Americans will move in. They'll move in stages. There's no sense of urgency. NATO does not wish to have any conflict with the departing Serbs, who have 11 days to get out. Today at Petrovac, about 20 miles from the Kosovo border on the Macedonian side, the U.S. was beefing up. More combat helicopters. The commander of all U.S. forces to go to Kosovo, General John Craddock, is determined that the U.S. record of no fatalities in this campaign stays intact.
We know it's an uncertain environment. We know there are risks out there. We will always protect our force first, and then we'll conduct our other missions. And that's why you see Apaches and you see M1 tanks, the M2 Bradley. You see a lot of force capability. If someone is thinking of doing us harm, that might change their mind.
General Craddock was on the team that negotiated the Serb withdrawal.
I believe that they indeed provided us the information we asked for in a forthright and factual manner.
As far as you're concerned, they're professional officers.
Yes. That was the impression I got.
The general says the Yugoslav army has told NATO where their minefields are, but in keeping with U.S. doctrine, there'll be more than enough firepower deployed throughout the U.S. sector in case of surprises. Kosovo will be divided into 6 sectors. The U.S., British, French, German, and Italian zones are pretty much decided on. Yet to be decided is where the Russians go, but it will probably be on the border with Serbia. The British will be based in Pristina, the capital, reflecting the leading British role. These British troops will be the first into Kosovo, and the U.S. will go sometime later. The Marines are that much closer to Kosovo tonight. 1,900 came ashore in Greece early this morning and have been pushing north for most of the day. ABC's Mike Lee is with them.
This is Lima Company of the 26th Marine Expeditionary Unit, and it's been a long day for them. It began before dawn on a U.S. Navy ship in the Aegean Sea, followed by an amphibious landing on the shores of Greece. Then a long, hot drive through Macedonia to here, their new base camp near the Kosovo border. They've been given special sensitivity training because they may have to deal with ethnic Albanians who try to rush back home before it's safe.
If it's not safe, then obviously we'll have to, intervene in between that and try to help people understand, the gravity of the situation and help them deal with that accordingly.
That could be almost as difficult as having to deal with angry Serbs. Peter?
Here is a thought which many people in this region find ironic. Last night, General Jackson, the commander of NATO's Rapid Reaction Force, made it clear that NATO would go to Kosovo to protect everyone's civil rights, which means that when NATO shows up, they'll be the Serb protectors too. There were signs today that Serb civilians who fear revenge from ethnic Albanians were leaving along with the Yugoslav forces. There are still 850,000 ethnic Albanians outside Kosovo. ABC's Jim Wooten was checking their reaction today to the big changes in the last 24 hours.
To some of them, though not all of them, the world looked considerably different today and a whole lot brighter.
The sun is shining again for us. No more brutality, we will hope that everything will be good now.
College students forced from Pristina, the Kosovo capital, lunching in Tetovo, their home away from home since March. And they cannot wait to leave.
Do you know when you're going to go back yet?
As soon as possible. I'm going to build a new Kosovo. Free.
New and free and better.
New and free and better.
And in peace.
Maybe they took anything that we had in Kosovo, but they couldn't take our heart and mind.
They've lived with host families in Macedonia since their expulsion. That and their youth may explain their optimism. But in the steamy refugee camps, 100 degrees plus today, most people are not that hopeful.
For these refugees who have lost so much, endured so much, whose lives have been turned upside down, for them, this is not a day of celebration. They don't feel much like winners.
This man says, we want to go back, but we still don't know if the agreement will make any difference. This farmer says, we won't feel safe unless we see NATO troops going in front of us. These posters went up in the camp today, warning of mines and explosives that could await them in Kosovo. No wonder they may not be in a hurry to go home. Peter?
Tomorrow, the Secretary of State, Madeleine Albright, will be here in Macedonia. She intends to visit one of the refugee camps, the one in which, incidentally, there was a riot the other night when ethnic Albanians went after some gypsies they thought had cooperated with the Serbs. The Secretary will get a very friendly reception. Many people here today heard the President when he spoke. Here's ABC's Sam Donaldson.
Success has 1,000 fathers, and President Clinton today tried to thank them all. Among them his civilian advisors, the military, and the American people, for their resolve, bravery, and courage.
We now have a moment of hope, thanks to all those qualities. And we have to finish the job and build a peace.
That will mean, said the President, setting no timetable for U.S. troop withdrawal from Kosovo. The top Pentagon brass reviewed NATO's winning air campaign, noting that of the 23,000 bombs and missiles fired by NATO, only 20 produced wrongful death or damage. And
we lost 2 aircraft and no pilots. That is an extraordinary achievement in the history of air warfare.
Allied leaders of all stripes got a personal call of thanks from the President, who once again praised Russia's Boris Yeltsin for helping to broker the final agreement. It was truly anticlimax when the UN Security Council passed the resolution endorsing that agreement by a vote of 14-0. Only China abstained. The debate over the war's conduct will continue. Refugee return won't be easy. Congress may argue over future peacekeeping money, and Milosevic himself remains in power. But for today, the President is basking in sweet victory. And he will deliver a television address from the Oval Office tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Time to further celebrate it. Sam Donaldson, ABC News, the White House.
The Yugoslav President Slobodan Milosevic was on television as well today. The one big difference, for now, Mr. Milosevic controls the press in Yugoslavia. It is very hard to tell what his political future holds. The world certainly knows what a survivor he has been up until now. ABC's Bob Woodruff, who's in Belgrade tonight, reports on how Mr. Milosevic has portrayed this latest chapter.
While the people of Belgrade were enjoying the beginnings of normal life today, their president suddenly showed up on television, painting himself as a peacemaker whose policies had won out. Respected citizens, he said, the aggression is ended. The peace prevailed over violence. Kosovo, he explained, will remain a part of Serbia, but with autonomy. He did not acknowledge that 10 years ago he took that autonomy away and is being forced to give it back.
Milosevic did not even mention the return of the refugees in his speech, and never once did he say the troops coming into Kosovo will be from NATO.
State-controlled television has not mentioned that either, reporting the peace is a great Serb victory. Many believe it. Last night, hundreds packed into Belgrade's main square, driving through the streets and showing the flag.
You can kill our army. You can try to do that, but you can't kill our pride. This is our pride.
For others, though, this was not a victory at all.
Victory. I think they're celebrating, well, the defeat.
You're celebrating defeat?
Yep, I'm amazed.
But today in Belgrade, there was more music as most people followed their president's lead, trying to make defeat seem like triumph. Bob Woodruff, ABC News, Belgrade.
I'll have a final item from here in Macedonia later in the broadcast, but right now Ted Koppel has some of the day's other news. Ted.
Peter, later this evening on Nightline, we'll have more on the last moments of war and the first moments of peacekeeping. I'll be talking to the President's National Security Advisor, Sandy Berger. And when we come back, the Supreme Court makes it tougher to get tough on street gangs. And the battle over a multi-million-dollar roadway, one tiny town against the federal government.
Places that this heart of mine. Have you seen Transitions lenses lately? Indoors, the changing tint is clearer. Outdoors, they're the darkest Transitions lenses ever. For all-day comfort and convenience, Transitions lenses, right in any light. Come to JCPenney Optical and get free frames, up to $119 when you buy Transitions lenses.
One word convinced me to take an herbal to help maintain memory: Centrum.
Centrum Ginkgo is different. Some brands can lack natural ingredients. Only Centrum uses Pharmaprint for a more complete herbal every time. Centrum herbals, each naturally more complete.
I never met a dog I didn't like, which is a good thing considering some of the occupational hazards my friends put me through. This is mine. This is Herman. Ooh, what do we have here? A tick. That's why I choose Frontline for these guys. Frontline's the best. Because it's the only one that protects them from fleas and disease-causing ticks, too. Sorry I kept you waiting. No matter who your best friend happens to be.
For fleas and ticks, veterinarians choose the front line of protection.
Okay, one more time. Oh.
A Supreme Court decision today which could have a far-reaching effect on anti-gang efforts in many cities. The court struck down a Chicago law targeting gang members, a measure many people say was largely responsible for cutting that city's gang violence. Here's ABC's Terry Moran.
The Chicago law was aimed at gang violence on these streets.
In the summertime, our kids even can't sit on the block, even can't sit on the porch. You know, when the people come doing drive-by shooting and stuff like that, we have to put our kids in the backyard, and I don't think that's fair.
The 1992 law required police to order loiterers suspected of being gang members to disperse and arrest them if they refused. 42,000 people were arrested while the law was in effect, and most residents said they felt safer. Cities around the country, including New York, supported Chicago's efforts and were watching closely to see if the Supreme Court would uphold the law. But the court did not. Justice John Paul Stevens, a Chicago native, wrote that the law is unconstitutionally vague, failing to distinguish, for example, whether the reason that a gang member and his father might loiter near Wrigley Field is to rob an unsuspecting fan or just to get a glimpse of Sammy Sosa leaving the ballpark. But in a sharp dissent, Justice Antonin Scalia said the law made common and constitutional sense. The citizens of Chicago have decided that depriving themselves of the freedom to hang out with a gang member is necessary to eliminate pervasive gang crime and intimidation. This court has no business second-guessing that. Today, many Chicago residents agreed.
It's one thing to make a law and not know anything about it, but it's another one to live in it and really know what the law means to the people.
Civil libertarians praised today's ruling, saying that the Supreme Court has preserved the freedom of these streets. But the question may be, for whom? Terry Moran, ABC News, New York.
The government issued an annual progress report on the nation's health today, saying that Americans are healthier in many ways than they were a decade ago. But it also says too many Americans are overweight. And it points out dramatic differences between races. Hispanics are twice as likely as whites to be diabetic, and African Americans are more likely than whites to die of asthma. We'll be back with more news in just a moment.
They sprayed us good, huh?
Yeah, good.
But I gotta tell you, my roots hurt real bad. Hank, whoever did this is gonna pay. Hank, they're gonna pay big. Hank!
Roundup, no root, no weed, no problem.
If you quit before the finish line, you lose, right?
Right.
That's my problem with a lot of pain relievers. They go for a while, then quit. Good thing there's Aleve. Aleve has the strength to work all day long with just 2 pills. It would take 8 Tylenol to do that. If your pain reliever quits before the finish,
lose it.
lose it and try Aleve. 2 pills, all-day relief, works for me.
And now, Aleve comes in fast-acting gel caps.
Does tossing one of these into your tank kill germs? Well, here's one way to be sure. Lysol Continuous Action Automatic Toilet Cleaner. It not only cleans, it kills germs. No other automatic toilet cleaner kills more. You have our word on it.
Announcing a new way to see, near and far. The new AccuView bifocal contact lens with pupil intelligent design. Call 1-800-531-2121 for a free trial pair or visit your eye care professional.
It's party time. Hot tubs everywhere will be overflowing. Make sure your deck can take the heat with Thompson's Wood Protector. For rain, sun, mildew, it's the most powerful Thompson's yet. Thompson's Wood Protector. It never takes a day off.
Is it the thick, rich chocolate flavor? Is it the soft, luscious cherry flavor? Or the way it yields to the gentlest bite? Or is it the fact that 500 milligrams of bone-strengthening calcium doesn't come in a big, honking horse pill? Calburst from Nature Made. Have some pleasure with your calcium.
In New Mexico today, great relief at the White Sands Missile Range. The expensive experimental THAAD missile finally scored a success. The anti-missile system is designed to shield American troops by destroying enemy missiles. Today, it hit a flying target after 6 straight failures in previous tests. On the money tonight, investors on Wall Street were concerned about rising interest rates today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 69 points to close at 10,621. On the NASDAQ, stocks were down more than 34 points. From Japan, an unexpected piece of good economic news. The economy grew for the first time in 18 months, expanding 1.9% in the first quarter. Most economists say it's too early to tell if Japan's worst recession since World War II is finally ending. The government says foreign investment in the U.S. tripled last year to more than $200 billion. With many economies overseas still weak, foreign investors have been eager to buy up fast-growing American companies. A new study finds that the internet economy is doubling every 9 months, which created 1.2 million jobs last year. The study was funded by computer hardware maker Cisco Systems, which has a vested interest in seeing the web grow. A major blow today for a once powerful political organization, the Christian Coalition. The Internal Revenue Service has denied the group's tax-exempt status, basically saying that it is a political organization dedicated to influencing elections and not simply educating voters. The coalition says it will now split into 2 groups, one to educate and the other to endorse candidates. And here in Washington today, the White House unveiled the planet's newest Yankee fan, First Lady Hillary Clinton. The world champion New York Yankees were at the White House for a long-planned visit with the president. Mrs. Clinton didn't miss the photo opportunity. She is mulling a possible run for Senate in New York. It should be noted that Mrs. Clinton grew up in Chicago as a Cubs fan. When we come back, a small town takes on a powerful congressman, millions of dollars at stake.
It's surprising who's drinking Ensure. Healthy people. Staying healthy means eating right. But when you can't eat nutritious foods like these, drink Ensure. With essential vitamins and minerals you find in vegetables, calcium like in milk, and protein like in fish, Ensure's a source of complete balanced nutrition. Helps you stay active and energetic. Drink Ensure. And drink to your health. And now there's Ensure High Calcium, with calcium and other key nutrients to help build strong bones.
There are those among us with very simple tastes. They only want the best. And for them, there's Fancy Feast gourmet cat food. Exceptionally moist and delicious. Fancy Feast. Good taste is easy to recognize.
I have the power to find the quickest route across town. To get tickets to the hottest shows. And reserve a table for 2 at virtually any restaurant. I drive an Escalade, the only luxury SUV with the executive assistance of OnStar Standard.
OnStar, how can I help you?
I have the power to make obstacles obsolete.
Escalade, it's good to be the Cadillac.
Where will you be when your grandson gets his first taste of the ocean? When man walks on Mars? When your children want to discover their heritage? Life is filled with moments you don't want to miss. That's why if you have high cholesterol and heart disease, you should know about Zocor. Zocor is proven to help save lives by reducing the risk of a heart attack. So where will you be tomorrow? That could depend on what you do today. When diet and exercise aren't enough, talk to your doctor about adding Zocor. Zocor is a prescription medication and is not right for everyone, including women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant, or people with liver problems. Your doctor may do blood tests to check for liver problems, because serious side effects can result. Tell your doctor about any muscle pain or weakness you experience while on Zocor, and about any medicines you are taking. For more information, talk to your doctor or call. Zocor, it's your future. Be there.
Now, a report tonight about government spending that could make a lot of people angry. Usually, when a congressman comes to town delivering a big project, local officials are only too happy to take it. That is not the case in a small town in Pennsylvania. And ABC's John Martin has that story.
Over the last dozen years, this little Pennsylvania township has spent $800,000 trying to stop the government from building an $11 million exit off this interstate highway.
This is where Exit 7, as it's called, will go. Townspeople say that ramps along there will block a farmer from his own fields and will force them to spend millions of dollars extra for access roads and still create more traffic.
This interchange would basically devastate our trying to control growth.
Stopping a project most people oppose might seem easy until you learn who wants it built here. Bud Schuster, the powerful chairman of the House Transportation Committee. Townspeople say the interchange will benefit donors to Schuster's election campaigns. One big donor owns 400 acres being developed close to the proposed exit. Another donor, the parent company of this quarry, was fined for illegal donations to Schuster. The firm stands to gain from the exit, but insists it did not ask Schuster for help. Schuster himself would not talk to us, insisting the exit's location is up to local officials. Among them, the prime promoter is the Chamber of Commerce of nearby Chambersburg. Its president says the exit is to ease traffic and spur growth, not favor Schuster's friends.
There is no truth to that. That's
Political money
right.
has not had
There's
a role
no
in
truth
this?
to that. Can you have progress stopped because a few people are opposed to it? We don't believe that that's right for the community.
It was right for the little township for 12 years. Now, some residents say they're weary of the fight. But this lone farmer, suing to protect his land, asks a simple question.
Why should the taxpayers have to foot a bill for a few people's development?
A development with one more twist. The map shows that Exit 7 will funnel most traffic right back into the center of congested Chambersburg. That's exactly the problem they were trying to solve for $11 million of your money. John Martin, ABC News, Green Township, Pennsylvania.
A new computer virus spread across the internet today, infecting machines by email like the recent Melissa virus. It's called the worm.explore.zip. It arrives by email with an attached file that can infect a computer and ruin its files. And I'm told that if you want to avoid it, don't open the file. That's all from Washington for now. We go once again to Peter Jennings in Macedonia. Peter?
Well, Ted, there's a lot of tension in Macedonia tonight. When we come back, a classic example.
Boogie woogie, rumbling round, creamy, dreamy, rumbling round. It's got yogurt, blended right in, with the creamy taste of butter. You'll try again.
The goodness of yogurt, the creamy taste of butter with half the fat and calories. Must be Rummelin' Brown.
There's nutrition news about heart disease. The B vitamin folic acid may help reduce homocysteine levels in the blood, an emerging risk factor for heart disease. And Centrum Silver has folic acid.
Centrum Silver. It's a great time to be silver.
I'm gonna raise you. Fold. Too rich for me. Not fold.
Call. A couple of things to remember. One,
A full house always means 3 of a kind. And 2, the new Chevy Silverado has the most powerful V8 of any pickup. Chevy Silverado. It's the truck.
Shut up.
Do you dare to be bare everywhere? Can you expose your toes? Or do you hide them because of embarrassing nail fungus that turns nails' colors, makes them thick or brittle? Well, now you can discover how it's possible to get healthier, more beautiful nails back. By calling this number, you'll receive a free video and learn about effective oral treatments your doctor has. This year, learn how to lose those shoes and love it. Then dare to be bare, because fungus-free nails are a bare necessity.
2020 Friday. Would you leave your child alone in a locked car? Many parents do, with dire results. A tragedy of modern life you can avoid.
That's something I would never, ever want to go through.
Don't miss 2020 Friday.
One final note from Macedonia this evening about pressure. Everyone feels the pressure here, even though this particular phase of the crisis is over. 1,000 refugees demonstrated against their conditions in a camp south of here. At another, some Kosovo Liberation Army types led a parade of children described as full of hate for the Serbs on a march through the camp, which was unsettling. And at the border with Kosovo, we were party to one of those classic moments when it is clear how much everyone dislikes one another. At the border, they were closing a transit camp for refugees because NATO troops will soon be streaming up this road and into Kosovo. An Italian armored vehicle arrived to take up its position, but it was blocked by a bus. Balkan impasse. The Italian must go back, said the Macedonian officer on the left, who dislikes Italians and ethnic Albanian refugees. The Italian commander on the right said, well, if you'll move the bus back a few feet, I can turn around. The Macedonian policewoman seemed to understand. But the Macedonian officer, who also dislikes NATO, said, the buses don't move, you do. This went on in several languages while the refugees sat in steaming hot buses. Finally, when a more senior Italian officer showed up, the Macedonian changed his mind. By now, even his own men thought he needed a vacation. The buses moved several feet. The Italians were able to get through. And then the Macedonian told us to leave. He didn't like journalists either. And that is our report on World News Tonight. We'll be here again tomorrow. I hope you will join us then. I'm Peter Jennings. Good night from the very center of Skopje, the capital of Macedonia.
Tomorrow, a high-tech toy battles illnesses and fears using virtual reality to heal. Watch ABC's World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source. ABCnews.com, now a part of the Go Network.
Money, sex, murder.
That man is out to kill me.
You thought they had enough.
Every good thing I have, that woman wants to get her claws in.
Tonight, they're back for more.
Feel 100% safe alone?
Dennis Franz, Peter Strauss, Heather Locklear.
We'll make this go away.
An ABC premiere movie event. Texas Justice, tonight.
Now, News 2 at 6. First, fast, accurate.
This is counterfeit clothing from a name brand of Tommy Hilfiger, Nike, FUBU, Calvin Klein.
Gallatin police pull over a tractor trailer and make a surprising discovery. Good evening, everyone. We'll have that story in just a moment, but first, severe weather is popping up once again around Middle Tennessee.
And Lisa Patton's in the Storm Center with more. Lisa?
Well, the storm's very isolated, but right now the strongest activity is southeast of Nashville. As you can see on Storm Tracker 2000, we're zoomed in pretty tightly here on Cannon County. There's a look at Woodbury there. This storm, though, just west of Blue Springs is very intense with lots of lightning, driving rains, maybe even some small hail just passing